Jack Angry, along with Countess Boobula. And we're with the Angry Brothers Omaha Shakarama, myself, Brother James, the Countess, Inferna, and the rest of the gang want to welcome you to Chop Block's Horror Network. And remember, friends, let's keep America on top. Watch Horror Host, y'all. And you can do that on Chop Block. Anything you'd like to add, Countess?
Well, it seems like being spooky is in style these days.
So, good night and unpleasant dreams.
Sweet nightmares.
Well, greetings, faithful followers. This is your old pal, Brother Jack Angry.
Well, greetings, faithful followers. I'm Brother Jack Angry, along with Dawn duvurger.
Hello.
And the Countess Boobula. And we want to throw a big shout out to our friends at After Hours Cinema and WGUD in Pascagoula, Mississippi. Thanks for all your support. Keep up the great work and keep those B-movies rolling, Lee. Well, greetings, faithful followers. This is your old pal, Brother Jack Angry, bringing you another edition of the Angry Brothers Omaha Shakarama, live from the Monastery of Mayhem, deep in the bowels of Omaha, Nebraska. We have the lovely Countess Boobula with us.
Countess Boobula.
And we have a great friend of the show, renowned scream queen, convention organizer.
Not anymore. Never again.
Okay. Actress.
I'll take that.
Any things I've missed?
Writer,
Okay.
fitness trainer, that sort of stuff.
Okay. Dawn duvurger. So Dawn, you were nice enough to come to Omaha at our behest to to sit down and talk about some of your movies. And tonight
Thanks for
we're
having me.
well. What was that,
I
hon?
said thanks for having
Oh,
me.
well, we are more than welcome. It's been a real joy. The first movie we're going to start off with for tonight is Cremains. Now, that was done by Steve Sessions?
Yes, Steve Sessions did it in Biloxi, Mississippi.
Mm-hmm. And it was an anthology, wasn't it? Composed of several different tales, and you played a ghost or female... Vampire. Yes, it's like, it's... When they said you sucked, they really meant it.
Yeah, I was a vampire with a bit of a feeding disorder. You see, I didn't want to get any blood on my white dress, so it had to go.
You were wearing a white. Were you wearing a white dress in that one, or?
Not so
Second
long.
part?
Okay, yes, I remember. I remember the second part. Great film. We highly recommend it. 2 thumbs way, way up, among other things. But we won't go into that. That's a totally different show. And not really suitable for consumption here on public access TV. We love you, Chris. Don't cancel us, please. We've had that enough already this week. But anyway, so what else can you tell us about your time filming with on Cremains?
Well, it was the first movie I was in.
Okay, so...
Steve recruited me out of a strip club in Biloxi.
Okay.
Because I was notorious for doing a routine as a vampire.
Oh.
And he needed a vampire that wasn't afraid to get naked.
Well, we're all for vampires and getting naked here on the show. It's definitely two things on our, high up on our list. It's
What?
like...
Sorry. What kind of vampire isn't willing to get naked?
Well, it's... Yeah, well...
A modest one, maybe an
It's
ex-nun that got big.
it's them Jewish vampires. They don't even get naked in front of each other. It's like, they all miss sugar. But anyway, so you worked at a strip club. What was that like? I mean...
Well, I did that for quite some time, and I loved it. It was a good job for me. I enjoyed it. I got to be myself. But yeah, Steve recruited me from... It was El Morocco was the name of the club.
Okay.
And he got me on that, and I thought, okay, this is fun, but I didn't expect to do any more. And then he called me back and said, hey, can you do another part? And I was like, sure. This one has lines, okay. And I had a blast. So when I went back to college, I actually started studying acting again, and I've done a lot more since then.
Okay, and as far as studying acting, what's involved with that? I mean, obviously, what methods did you study? Were you a method actor, or?
I learned about improv, and I learned about stage performance, and a lot of other things. I mean, it's couple of years worth of semesters, so it'd be hard to cover it all.
Okay, and when you were working with Steve, was it more improv based? I mean, did he just give you like kind of the outline of a character, or?
At first, because my first character did not have any words, I just hissed.
Okay.
So that was easy lines to remember, to say the least. After that, though, it was small scripts for Steve. I've done larger scripts since then, obviously, but for Steve, it was a versatile script, would be a good way to put it. He said, "This is what I want said." And you could hedge a little here and there, like add a few words.
So you can embellish it a little
I
bit.
could embellish, or I could work with it a little bit, but he had in mind exactly what he wanted usually.
Okay, and you know, the countess has said that she's kind of got the acting bug a little bit, and
It's fun.
you know, all right. Well, countess, what is it that draws you to acting? I mean,
It's hard to say yet. It's just something.
oh, well,
about
you're
it.
just starting out. I mean, you've done a few small parts, but okay. What is it that gets your motor running about acting? Is it being able to be a different person, or is it, you know, you get out in front of the camera where you know people are going to be seeing you, and
It's more of not being me.
okay, so you do like the
It's
fact
an escape.
it's an
Yes.
escape. Very good. I mean, me personally, when I do my little bits, and when I go in disguise in my civvy drag, as it were, I mean, it's like I'm a totally different person when I'm not in uniform.
Why
as
on
a,
earth would you ever want to pretend to be human?
Well, it's like sometimes you gotta pass, you know, with the orange idiot in Washington, everybody's trying to pass for something or other, you know,
you
it's
wouldn't
like,
want the goose steppers to get you.
yeah, it's like, well, I'm trying to avoid them, you know, it's like goose steppers and feminazis, you know, it's like they
Ugh.
both want a piece of me in the worst way, you know, and
So
I
you're
won't,
not just turning them on in some weird way.
well, it's like I don't know which
Could
piece,
be like this secret thing, you know.
well, I don't know which piece they want. I mean, if it's, you know, Big Jim and the twins, it's like, sorry, that would be an assault with a dead weapon, but,
Probably
you know.
the part that pays taxes.
Well,
that's my guess.
that's it. You know, it's like, yeah, and unfortunately, Billy Bob and the boys haven't made me any money since Reagan was in office. You slackers, you know, come on, do something.
You should talk to them nicer. Stop beating them so much.
Yeah, well, it's like they just won't behave. You know, it's like, you know, and besides, Brother James's wife, she kicks them on occasion anyway. So, you know, we've gotten good at dodging things. You know, she did try that a couple of times and broke her toes both times.
So it's kind of dodgeball.
There you go.
Okay. I hear they practice that sport in high schools.
Yeah,
No
that's
jockstrap?
no, it's like, sorry, they don't make them in my size, you know, extra Asian.
They don't make them like that anymore.
No, it's like, you know, it's like during the war they had the sizes small, medium, large, and then they went one smaller and called it Asian. Well, they had another size after that. It was called Brother Jack. Yes, it's like
Are we
self-deprecation.
talking Smurf or a leprechaun here? Do you know
Well,
the
they are
difference?
green, you know, it's like,
Leprechaun.
yes, the Ancient Order of Hibernians told me to quit ripping off their shtick, or they're gonna send a bunch of big mix over to kick the crap out of me.
So the gold at the end of the rainbow wasn't coins.
No, no,
Lucky Charms?
yeah, well, they're trying to cut off me Lucky Charms.
Oh, me Lucky Charms.
Yes, it's like the damn British anyway.
Oh, bloody hell.
Yep, it's like, you know, I remember I was there during the Troubles. You know, I wired up so many English jeeps they used to call me Buttons McBoom Boom.
I'm pretty sure that it wasn't for the buttons.
Well, let's just say I can't go back to Belfast anytime soon. You know, they still got posters up of me, but anyway.
Pity, they have great whiskey.
Yes, they do. They have excellent whiskey. And they say the Irish aren't good for anything.
Pachine.
Oh, yes. It's like,
Mighty evil Pachine is, I must say.
well, it's like, yeah, what do they call that? That's called Council Bluffs paint remover, you know. It's like, you know, it'll take the enamel right off your teeth. That's why everybody over there looks... Here's a joke for you girls. What do they call a family reunion in Council Bluffs? A full set of teeth.
Oh. Sure you're not talking
What
about Alabama?
Yeah, no, that's Council Bluffs,
Okay, just
you know.
checking.
Here's another one. What does a girl in Council Bluffs say on after her honeymoon? Dad, you want to get off me? You're crushing my smokes.
Oh.
Love you, Council Bluffs, you know,
Do
Iowa.
you really?
Yeah, it's like I can't go over there either. I can't.
Probably a love-hate relationship I'm seeing here.
Yeah,
It's a pattern.
Yeah, definitely. It's like codependence. Ain't it a bitch? But anyway, so back to cremains. So you were part of the anthology, but do you have any any recollections of anything unusual occurring during the shooting? I mean, was it all pretty cut and dried for you, or?
Well, it was fun. Steve was going out of his way to be respectful and courteous.
Okay. Well,
And
what
that
was
led
good?
to some interesting laughs because, well, I'm not used to people being respectful or courteous. So there was a few times like, okay, if you don't mind, if you could take the dress off during the scene, I'm like, all right.
Multiples. Simultaneous cremations.
It's a waking dream. It's a very vivid, very real experience, more powerful than a dream, but more bizarre than reality.
I know what you were going through. You didn't tell the families you were giving them mixed remains.
They don't want to know that.
What was that Mom said about Wyndham?
Wyndham? Oh, it's just some old superstition. But we won't be going through Wyndham tonight.
And he's like, ah! So he wasn't expecting my
So he
boldness,
wasn't expecting you to be as bold as what you were.
Yeah, and he was worried about sensibilities. Like he had a drinking glass that was made of sugar glass for special effects.
Mm-hmm.
And originally he wanted Kimberly Cole's character, my victim in the scene, to hit me upside the head with it. But he was so afraid it would actually hurt me that we didn't do it.
Well, sugar glass is designed to just pretty much shatter.
Yeah, I wasn't worried about it, but he was courteous.
Yes.
He wanted to make sure nothing
Well, yeah,
bad
it's
happened.
like, and I understand
so that
that.
led to some play. Now, I think the only funny thing that happened was I have a twitch in my eye, and we had to wear these red contact lenses.
Ah,
So I've got these contact lenses in, and the medicine they put in my eye to put my eye to sleep to get them in
yeah.
wore off.
Oh, so.
So I turned and blinked, and the red contact came shooting out of my eye and nailed Kimberly in the face. And I was like, sorry about that. She's like, she shot me with her eye. And that was rather humorous to say.
Obviously, that didn't make it into the final print,
No,
but I'll bet
it
it's
did
in the
not.
gag reel somewhere.
I wish he'd had a gag reel because a lot of funny things happened.
Well,
Now,
that's.
the funniest thing probably happened after we left the hotel room that we were shooting that in, because the scene was in a hotel room, so we
Okay.
went to a hotel. And we left the fake blood sheets. So the maid probably walked in and saw a massacre. I imagine there was a good bit of screaming at the beach that day.
The maid, I ain't cleaning this crap up.
Yeah,
Oh,
we just kind
hell
of
no.
left them bundled in the bed, kind of body shaped, and left. So.
Yeah, I'll bet they love you at that hotel. They probably still remember it. Oh, no.
Can't. Katrina annihilated that hotel.
Oh, that is
The only
good.
way you can see what that hotel looked like is to watch the movie,
Ah.
which I recommend. of
Okay,
course.
and definitely one of our favorites. Now, as far as cremains go, the whole that was definitely an indie production. I mean,
Yes.
it was done with a small budget. I'm
Yes.
assuming.
He had a low budget, high for the time.
Okay, and what year was
but,
that?
98.
Okay,
Is when
so about
it-
22 years ago,
Mhm.
roughly. And since you're obviously an active working actress right now, what do you think? Have there been improvements since '98? I mean, has the overall state of indie filmmaking improved, or has it just kind of been pretty much the same?
It's gone up and down. I call it a Damocles effect.
Okay, the sword of Damocles?
Yes, the sword of Damocles cuts both ways. You see, the thing is that we have technology now where what used to cost a fortune to do, you can do like that.
Well, yeah, it's just...
With effects and digital, you're not wasting film, you don't have to worry about the processing as much, etc. It's easier to clean things up, add things. However, that ease has led to a lot of people having delusions of ability.
Yeah.
So you get a mix of brilliant people finally able to express themselves and come out with these wonderful things, and then you have people with a cell phone going, "I made a movie." It's like, no.
So you got any Gonif that picks up a digital camera and suddenly thinks he's like J.J. Abrams or something?
And so you get this mix, and then you get this proliferation, and it gets harder and harder to sort through them. With streaming now, okay, we have more ways to get it out. Great. I can download it for 99 cents. Somebody's more willing to do that. Okay. However,
well,
you have to wade through the miasma to find the gemstones.
Yeah, you got to kind of sift through the crap.
It's a balancing act.
You know, it's like you're out there panning for gold, but instead of panning in gravel, you're panning in shit, basically. And oop, I said shit.
I'd say more like a polluted river, where occasionally a turd floats by, and you just kind of have to dodge it and pull a matrix.
And that turd would be Republican. It's like, yeah, Sanjay the cameraman's giving me the finger. It's like, all right, Sanjay, stop that or we'll call ICE on you. I'm pretty sure.
Not all Republicans are bad. There are some good ones out there. Some.
Some. Well, okay, I admit, I know several Republicans that are really great people, and you know, they are as aghast as me, and you know, present company included to a certain degree. Yes, I know, Sanjay. Take your MAGA hat off, Sanjay. But anyway, the orange monkey in Washington is, you know, kind of made it. Yeah, it's like, Sanjay's over here doing his gorilla impersonation, and stop doing that pelvic thrust. You're making me nervous. This is not the time warp, okay?
He's getting excited. You should probably do something.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, we'll go have somebody hose him down with some chopped ice or something.
He's gonna need a towel if you keep this up.
It's like, well, I haven't had the carpets cleaned. Gives me one more excuse to clean the carpet. You know, there's probably enough DNA floating around that carpet to make a whole human being. So.
May I recommend a flamethrower?
Yeah, it's like, well, if we shine the blue light of truth, we'd all be blinded in here, you know. They'd see it from space. NASA called, they said, turn the lights off. But anyway, so, okay, so basically we've had the upside and the downside. Any schmo with a digital video camera and
or a cell phone now.
Or even the cell phones, I mean, the quality of a cell phone is equal to what you guys were shooting with back in 1998.
Yeah, it's actually better sometimes.
Yeah, the high quality. I understand that completely. But where do you see indie, particularly indie horror? Where do you see that going now?
See, that is again the Damocles. There's so many options out there, and they're not stable options. Like, for example, for a while, indie horror was flooding Amazon Prime, which was wonderful. And then they did a purge. And everyone got confused. And it was both good and bad, because it got rid of some stuff that just wasn't being watched, but it also got rid of some good stuff that people just hadn't discovered yet. And you keep having that happen in these different mediums. So it's a balancing act. It used to be you could buy the DVDs easily. Now, where'd you find them? You can't just go to Blockbuster anymore.
Well, that's it. You know, the demise of the neighborhood video store. I mean, it's like, and it's impossible to get unless it's a big budget Hollywood. You can't get it in a red box or something like that, you know, without taking an act of God or a buttload of money.
Now, the funny part is that...
that was Brother James chiming in on camera.
I told you he got excited.
Through the security camera right there.
The camera. So, the thing is that if you notice, a lot of indie horror is more available overseas. Like, for example, when I was in Iraq, I was able to go to a souk and buy movies that I couldn't get in America. And I was shocked when I found one I was in.
Okay, well...
And that's just the way it is.
And Okay, so you being an
He's
actress,
fondling your flask.
it's like, well, many have, you know.
Okay.
It's like, well, at least you'll have to buy me dinner later. You know, I expect flowers after that, buddy. I don't like that word. Look, protect me, countess. Oh no. It's like, no, we are not doing the rubbing the nipples thing. Oh no, put them away, son. No.
Okay, I'm just gonna turn my back for a second.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, it's like some things you can't
okay.
just unsee.
No, that's incorrect.
Okay, so where do you see indie horror going in? I mean, from judging from what you've done now into the future, where do you see indie horror going? Do you see it just getting to be more of the Great Wasteland, or do you see some real gems coming out of it?
I see some real gems coming out of it. I think it's like any other thing, like when the studio system took over with films, all of a sudden there was a burst in Hollywood. That was the golden age. When New Line came out, you had a burst of these higher budget, they weren't B budget, they weren't high budget, but they're mid-budget movies that are great. Like, for example, Color Out of Space recently came out with Nicolas Cage. That was a New Line. It's brilliant, and it's one of the best movies I've ever seen. But then you have all the B movies, and the thing is, there used to be B and C movies, believe it or not. A lot of people don't even know about C movies. Some of them are gems, some of these are people refining their edges, and they're going to get budgets, and they're, with crowdfunding and everything being the way it is, we're going to see more and more up-and-comers that aren't as constrained by the studio system. So there's different ways of getting that out there. So I see a lot of creativity coming.
So you see it like a good and a bad kind of situation. I mean, we're gonna get our share of grade B or grade Z schlock fests. We're gonna get good movies on the caliber of what Cremains was back in the day. We're also gonna get like blood and gore fest, you know.
It always goes in waves. Like, did you ever notice when Saw came out, suddenly you had Hostel and all that.
Yeah.
You had the gore porn.
Yeah, there you go.
And
we like gore porn.
And there was the slasher invasion from the 80s and early 90s with the Jason movies and stuff. It goes in waves.
Yep.
And one of the things we're seeing now is more people thinking psychologically on how to attack things. So that usually happens when you have recessions and stuff like that. I know that sounds funny.
Again, thank you, Trump.
Poor people love zombies. It's a fact, and you can look at the pattern in pop culture.
Well, we've had the zombie revolution. Now we've got we had the vampire revolution. We've had the zombie revolution. You know, we had for a brief bit the witch. You know, everybody was fascinated with it, which is like with the not Twilight, but
no glitter fires, please.
Practical magic and you know, Hocus Pocus and The Witches of Eastwick, which was a very good movie. Cher rocked in that movie. It's like everybody loves Cher.
I have slept on the set of that movie accidentally. No, my husband's from Hingham, Massachusetts. That's where a lot of it was filmed.
Ah.
And his mother's house is actually on it's right off of Main Street. So if I want to see where that field where they were coming across, all I had to do was sit on her front porch.
Oh, well, that's cool.
So I've been on that set accidentally.
And remember Jack Nicholson's famous line from that movie, "Women, was it a joke or did God do it to us on purpose?"
I definitely see that as a Damocles again.
Again. Okay, that's right, I make a joke and I get crickets. Thank you. I'll be here all week and try the veal. Yes, but no, it's... So, Cremains, I mean, you had a small part in that movie, but it was actually a larger anthology. And if I remember correctly, it had a very good cast. I mean, Kimberly Cole Zemke was your victim, and I remember her bit. There was several others that came to my mind. It's just I am having a bit of a blank, drawing a blank on it.
The main chick who lost her child, I'm not going to say her name out loud because she's now in a political office, but was a newscaster for a local TV channel at the time.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, WLOX if I remember correctly, but I can't say her name.
Why, you'd get sued, or is it just there's bad blood between the two of you?
Oh, no. I've never actually met her.
Ah, okay.
She has no opinion about me one way or the other,
Oh,
but
okay.
she's in a political office, so I'm being courteous.
Well, there you go. That's the courtesy thing, which our current administration knows nothing about.
Yeah.
But I'm sorry, did I say that out loud?
But to be fair,
Damn
political correctness
demons!
has gone too far. Unfortunately, now we've got the backlash of the exact polar opposite. It's like, People, it's called the middle ground.
Yes.
Freaking stranger shit out. You're adults.
Well, that's it. You know,
Grow
it's like,
up.
you know, this is not England. We don't drive on the wrong side of the road. Let's try to pick
We
a
do
side.
drive on the wrong side of the road, damn it. England drove first.
Well, no.
Just because we had the first car doesn't give us the right of way.
Well,
Get it right.
you know, those slimy limes, as it were. But anyway, so, you know, we're going to bring you some bits from cremains here on the Angry Brothers Omaha Shockorama. Our guest for today has been Dawn duvurger, along from myself, Brother Jack, and the Countess Boobula. Be sure and check out cremains. Now, where can they get this movie?
About the only place you can buy it now is Amazon. You can get it off eBay. You can get it from some of the people who were in it because we can order copies. Like I have some at my house. But
So you want to avoid her at all
work with
costs.
her.
Yes, it's like I think we all have, you know.
Yeah. Karma and Portia. Terrifying combo.
They're in hell now.
Well, yes, I heard they were running the joint, you know, or at least some portion thereof. You know.
No, just the section with the Viagra victims.
Well, it's like Viagra victims, yeah, it's like, you know, watch them little blue pills, people. They can be dangerous, you know. Yeah, it's like people out there eating them like Tic Tacs, and it's, you know, I'm sorry, was recreational Viagra use a thing? Did I miss that somewhere, or did I just not get that memo?
Yeah, you just wash it down with the cheap gin. And you know you gotta throw in I better stop there.
And that's when they find,
give people
and that's
ideas.
when they find you dead, but with a huge heart on. Yeah, it's
It
like,
depends what kind of recreation we're talking about.
well, it's like, I mean, people taking it just for the effect of walking around, you know, doing a coat rack impersonation.
I thought that was tile stand.
Oh, towel stand, yes. You know, it's like if anybody who takes it and suddenly their nickname is Tripod, you've taken too much.
Or Ahab the tent maker.
There you go. Yes, Omar the tent maker. It's like, God, we got a million of them. Yes. Well, in your case, it would be a pup tent, Sanji. You know, he's a little guy.
Like I said, real clothes.
Yeah, it's like, and Sanjay, stop sending everybody links to your Instagram page, you know. We're getting
Is that
complaints.
allowed on Instagram?
I don't,
I'm
well,
pretty
it's
sure
like,
he's gonna get banned.
well, it's pretty, it's small enough, it kind of slides by the sensors, you know. They don't have a microscope. Nothing but love for you, Saji, nothing but love. Anyway, I am Brother Jack Angry, from all of us here at the Monastery of Mayhem, the Countess, our good friend Dawn duvurger, Brother James, Inferna, Sin, Ash, Gulia, and the rest of the gang. Good night, unpleasant dreams, and let's keep America on top. Watch horror hosts and suck it, you hack.
Fun nightmares.
Sweet nightmare.
Well